Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is Ebbie with Ebbie Reviews, and this is going to be your recap for Chasing Atlanta Season 3, Episode 12, Why Can't We Be Friends? So, this was a lot. This episode was a whole lot. It was a lot. So, let's go to the start at the top. So we were born, and Troy visit it's not a homeless shelter, it's called a drop-in center. Jesus, I can't even remember the name of the drop-in center now. I will find the information and put it in my in the description box. It's a drop-in center for youth and young people. I'm assuming it may be for LGBT, but they didn't specify. But they're open from 8 to 8, and it's a drop-in center where homeless youth can come. They can take a shower, they can get some food, they can have somewhere to be during the day. But unfortunately, it's not 24 hours. So at 8 o'clock in the evening, the drop-in center closes down, and they have to exit the building. Now, we were born, and Troy came to volunteer. What's the baby's name? I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. And one more piece. Oh. There we go. Better. Okay, so Jaquan in Berlin and Troy. Troy has dedicated, bought some donated some clothes for the kids, and they come to help out and feed the kids, and sit down and talk to them about some of their stories, and then the people who operate the center actually take them to where these kids are sleeping at night, which is underneath a bridge. And excuse me, and they're explaining how they wish they could be 24 hours, but Atlanta has shut down a couple of homeless shelters in the city, so there's a lot more people fighting for a lot less space in the homeless shelters that are available. And because they have to go into adult shelters because they're 18 and up, so they're considered adults, they actually have to compete with older people who've been doing this longer and are aware of the system. And he was explaining, if you're young and new to this system and trying to get a bed in a homeless shelter, and the homeless shelter had printed material saying they start at 6, they open up at 6, you can come in at 6 and get a bed. Older people who know what it is and what they're up against will be there at 3 or 4 to get online to get a bed. Meanwhile, younger people not knowing what it is won't show up until 4:30, 5 o'clock, and by the time they get there, all the beds are already gone. So they have either spent their last dime on catching a bus to get over there, or hop the turnstile, excuse me, risking getting arrested to get on a train to get to the homeless shelter, they never had a chance to get a bed in the first place because they didn't get there early enough. So it is Berlin and Jaquan are very touched by the situations that some of these children find themselves in. And I believe it's Berlin who explains that is actually how she and Jaquan met. It's because they were in a homeless situation at the time, and they met, and that's how they hooked up musically. So that explains the level of closeness between the two of them, because they came from literally nothing and built themselves up from absolutely nothing. That also explains some of the rage that we see with Jaquan. I still think he needs to sit on someone's sofa and get it under control. because I don't want him to hurt himself or anyone else. And I personally have had an issue with rage, dealing with some family stuff when I was a kid, and just feeling like I wasn't, because of course as a child you're not in control of your life and the decisions that are made by the adults in your life. When you're a child, you're completely powerless. So I had like that same pop off rage issue, and I had to learn to control it, because you can't take, because he takes Jatuan, from what we've seen, Jatan, he takes one little piece of information and that's all he hears to take him from 0 to 500. And then at that point, once he's at 500, he doesn't know how to pull it in. And I feel like Berlin has learned to wait out the storm of his rages and knowing that he eventually will come back down. But my issue is that I'm afraid that he's going to run into or get into an altercation with somebody who doesn't know him, doesn't know his story, doesn't know anything about him, and take his rage as a threat and something bad happens. So it is my fervent prayer that he gets on a sofa and talk to somebody about what's causing the rage. And if he can speak to that, then that will in turn, it's like a domino effect, that'll in turn temper the rage to where if you pop off with a purpose, not just and you make your pop off intentional. Because if I have a very, I now at 42, Ebony has a very long fuse. It takes a lot to get Ebony to a point, and I'm only going to argue with you so much before I just either it's going to become physical or I'm going to have to walk away from the situation. And 9 times out of 10, I choose to walk away. But there is always that 10th time where you maybe caught me on the right day, or you broke one of the cardinal rules. When it's me and when it's about me, I can walk away. If it's my kids, if it's my mama, it's not as easy for me to tone it down and bring it back in. And when it comes to my grandchildren, I'm homicidal in regards to how protective I am of my grandchildren, because they're babies and they have absolutely no defense, and I'll be damned. So that's a lot of information that none of you asked for, and I don't know where that came from, and I digress. But I really, because I see so much of my rage in Jatuan, and I know if left unchecked, it could potentially become deadly, and I don't want that for him. So that's my fervent prayer for him, is just to sit down and talk to somebody, or to him to become self-aware of what is happening. And self-awareness helps a lot as well. And eventually, again, get to someone who can, an anger management class, a psychiatrist, anything that can assist him with finding coping skills for that rage. And also it'll help with listening and digesting and comprehending what people are actually saying to you rather than what you think they said. That helps a lot too. I think again, this is way off and I apologize, because that's clearly not what y'all came here for, is Ebony's diagnosis. So let's go jump back into the episode. Hell, I don't even know where. Okay, so yeah, they are there to help the kids, and if you find yourself in um, a homeless situation here in Charlotte, I will leave some information in my information box, where you can potentially get some help in with sheltering and things of that nature. Um, let's get to the frivolous shit before we get to the meat at the end of the episode. I watched the last 15 minutes of this episode 3 times. Cause baby. Woo woo woo. Woo woo woo. Okay, so what the hell was next? What was next, Jesus? I don't even know what was next. I'll tell you what I remember, because I didn't write any notes down because I was so enthralled with the last 15 minutes of this episode. It was a lot. Let's go into Oliver, and then I'll go by people because I can't remember in order. Child, I'm old. Okay, so Q, let's get the inconsequential shit out the way. Q goes to visit Troy at the store because he heard Troy was upset that because apparently Troy said to Q that he didn't want to come to the football event if Gardini was going to be there. Q, not paying that any attention, still invited him to the event, and apparently he had tried to get in contact with Gardini and he just assumed he wasn't coming, so he was like, no, just come on, and they both ended up showing up. And so Troy still has an issue behind he's because what this is, I'm sure Troy arm is hurting for trying to reach for this plot line, because this is such a reach. If you have an issue, and I understand him saying he didn't want to speak to Gardini about what was said until the person who said it is there and they can have a 3-way conversation. So I don't know if we're going to get another episode where that 3-way conversation happens or what's going on. But Troy, baby, nobody cares. I love you. I love that you have a 9-to-5 job. I love that you cleared it with corporate for them to come in and film you for this show, for us to see your 9-to-5. I think it's admirable that you are proud of your 9-to-5 that has helped fund your dreams, because some people just get out here on a limb with no plan B and just wing it. And sometimes winging it doesn't work for everyone. So, but baby, I need you to find something different. I just need you to, just be you and do your 16 jobs and, be booked and busy and all that great and wonderful things. This manufactured drama with Gardini is what it feels like. It's not the move, not the wave. You look petty, and it's just not everybody has to cause drama. You just don't. Then we went to Oliver and Jaylon talking about why Kendra's benefit concert was canceled, and apparently it's Wayne the Pain shows up again. While Oliver was in New York, I guess he reached out to Wayne the Pain, and I'm mad that I'm keep calling him Wayne the Pain, but it is what it is. So he reached out to Wayne the Pain. He said that he did the flyer for the concert. He said he did the flyer for the benefit concert for free, and that he would do a t-shirt and sell it at the concert. And so all the proceeds from the t-shirt that he was going to make would go towards his contribution to helping get the bail raised to get Kendra out the clinker. So, then apparently Wayne the Pain went on, to the Wiley show and said that the only person who reached out to him about doing anything to help get Kendra out of the clinker is Gardini. In which he was like, what the fuck are you? But bitch, what? That's not true. And so he talks to Wayne the Pain. He said, first of all, you on this man's show who I've already cussed out in the email because he calling Kendra a basic transgender woman. He was like, and then they show a clip of Wiley saying some derogatory things about Miss Kendra, saying that her makeup is basic, her music is trash, and she need to do better, and blah, blah, blue, and blue, blue. And Oliver took offense to that, and he was like, don't be out here dissing. It's hard enough for us in this community, not for our own, to be supportive of us and our endeavors and whatever we got going on. And so he then says that he talked to Kendra and her sister, and they cussed him out based off of the information they were given by Wayne the Pain. And so my ADD, I'm sorry, and I have a cuticle thing happening. My bad. So, you know, after Wayne the Pain went on there and lied about him, then gave this information to Kendra, and Kendra called him to cuss him out from jail, talking about he's a fake friend and blah, 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 blah. And then Kendra's sister, on top of that, then reached out to Oliver and cussed him out too. He was like, okay, fine. You know, I don't have to do any of this. For real. Since I'm a friend and everything and all this other stuff that you're saying. You and that struggle bun. Okay. Girl. So he said, that's it. I don't have to do anything. I don't.
He watching you through the mirror.
Hi, Scooter Boo. Hi, baby.
She doing a video. You can't go there right now.
Don't throw your body around. He said, the hell I can't.
Exactly. I'll bring you back.
Okay. Come back when I'm done, babies. Bye, Scooter Boo. Okay, so this video is already super long. It's gonna be longer than the fucking episode if I don't get my life together. Okay, so Oliver says when he gets home, he then sees on Wayne the Pain social media the flyer that he made for Kendra saying that it's canceled. And at that point, Oliver said, that's it, I wash my hands, I'm done, I'm not doing anything, fuck y'all, that's it. So Kendra's still in jail. Now her bail is $8,000. That's a lot of money. Which means her charges is whatever she was charged with, the bail was $80,000 for your bond to be $8,000. And I don't know, because it ain't none of my business, but jumping down the throat of people who are actively trying to raise money for you, this doesn't seem, or for misinformation, I feel like she need better people around her who are giving her the straight tea, because I feel like she's getting bits and pieces, and she, like Jatwana, is just taking the little nuggets that she's being fed and then flipping out unjustly on people. And I don't want that for her either, especially since she's in such a vulnerable place right now of being in jail. Okay, so what else happened? Did anything else happen? If not, I hope you watch the episode, because let's get to the good part. So, Sky meets Cameron. Baby, when I say Sky dealt with Cameron like a mama deals with her husband or her children who have done something and lied, and they know the truth, and they are going to give you a chance to tell the truth. But when you start bullshitting, backpedaling, and pussy popping, then they go from 0 to 750 and read your ass to filth. Whew! Jesus. I have rarely seen a pop-off that severe. I got all of my life. When I say I have watched it no less than 3 times, and it came on at 7 o'clock. What time is it now? Can't be but like 9:30. And I've watched just that part 3 times. 1, 2, 3. A lot of information was thrown. Everything that Sky brought up to Cameron, he tried to deflect. He tried to answer questions with questions. He was like, what did I say? And he did it on purpose. And it pushed Sky's buttons to where he just got angrier and angrier. But no matter how angry he got, he knew he was on the side of right. So you was going to get this work regardless. And he proceeded to read the dog piss. We are here, gathered here today for the funeral of Cameron's face, because it is cracked and broken and dead on the floor. Baby. Cameron went Sky, oh God, I can't even get the baby's names right. Sky, for real, was pissed off. Then Cameron made mention that he apparently mentioned to someone that he was upset with Sky and Devon for not being supportive friends during his treatment for his cancer. And so Sky was like, are you bullshitting me right now with this? Are you for real? Are you bullshitting me? He was like, I wasn't on FaceTime with you the first time you did treatment. He's like, my nigga, I cried with you when you got sick during your first treatment. And he was like, oh, you were on FaceTime? And this is what really took me. It was like, oh, you was on FaceTime with me during my first treatment? Where's the footage? What did he say that for, God? Oh, God. Oh, God, what did he say that for? Because Cameron was like, motherfucker, it was filmed. Just because it wasn't shown doesn't mean it didn't happen. Oh, God, I thought at that point Cameron was going to swing. I thought Scott was going to swing on Cameron. Father God, fix it, Jesus. Like, take my advice. I can't do it the justice that it needs to be done. But please, if you don't ever watch any of Chasing Atlanta, go back and watch the last 15 minutes of this last episode and get your whole entire life. The whole thing, the front and the back. You know how you have a sunrise and a sunset, that dash, get that whole dash. Because Sky came for Cameron and verbally mollywopped this boy and Cameron with his little passive aggressive self the whole time. You know how when you're arguing with, and I have been known to do this, because at that point I just want to end the argument, because I know my reasonings are probably different from Cameron's reasonings for why he was doing this, but I know that I will just start agreeing with you once I realize that you're at a point where I like, this is pointless, there's nothing that I can say that's going to make this better, I just want this conversation to end. I just start, okay, well, I'm a hoe. Okay, well, clearly I'm a hoe. That's just what it is. And hoes gonna hoe. I don't know. And the passive aggressive white woman that lives back there somewhere with this blonde hair, she will just start agreeing just to end the conversation. But all that passive aggressive and tried to reverse psychology, Sky, none of that worked. Because he told, like, look here, Miss Cameron, I'm not the one you want. I will fuck you up out here. Jesus. He held him responsible for the flip-flopping, for all the lies, the mistruths, the misdirections that he's done. held his feet to the fire for all of it, and there was absolutely nothing Cameron could do but be passive aggressive and petty back, and that just wasn't what it was, and that wasn't what it's gonna be. But baby, please, like I said, if you only watching my reviews because you like to hear the sound of my voice, maybe my grandbaby's gonna pop up somewhere, you like my makeup, you like my eyelashes, you like my boobs, whatever, please go to Chasing Reality on YouTube and look at the last 15 minutes of this last episode number 12, and get your whole life together. That is it, and that's all I have for this review and recap. I am gonna cut this now because I saw Really Bitch has uploaded her recap, and I'm dying to hear what she has to say about it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. All of those lovely things. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.